Okay, everyone. My name is Patrick, and I'm here today to try to. I'm gonna show off something called the Pathfinding Playground. And I'm probably the last person that should be showing you this because, I just recently discovered this. This is, just to be clear, a tool for those developing maps and other software for OpenFrontIO, the game. So if you go to the GitHub, you'll find this project here, same thing, Pathfinding Playground. Essentially, rather than launching the server the normal way, you launch it with this. From there, you open up localhost in your browser, and that's what we have here. Alright, so what does this do? Let's use an example. I'm going to go ahead and load up a weird map I've been working on called Trapezoid. I'm going to put our nodes. I'm going to put our sectors. And the people, the guys that do the actual pathfinding for this game, I'm not one of them. I'm not a coder at all. So the people doing it for real are probably looking at this video and they're probably laughing at this map. But anyway, it's a good use case scenario, and we're going to do used nodes as well. So how it works? I'm going to click here. It's going to select there, and I'm going to select here. And look at that. The computer's telling me that it found these nodes and it created this line. Perfect. So let's do something a little bit more complicated. I'm going to select. Now, all this is a pathway, by the way. Open channels. I'm going to select here. And now I'm going to select here. And we can see that the pathfinding has really done its job quite well. It doesn't have too many nodes to work with. There's a lot of edge finding going on. There's a lot of it following the path of the structure it's next to, and it gets to there. But if I go from here to, where was it? It needs to be here to here. Yeah. As you can see, the pathfinding has it's goofed. It's goofed for some reason. It's right here. All it has to do is go from here to here, but for some reason it's gone all the way around. Now, I am stressing the pathfinding to hell. The guys that do the pathfinding are probably just rolling their eyes like, why would you even make a map like this? Are you trying to break the pathfinding? No. This map was made for play outwards. I can cut more. This is what this tool's for. Anyway, I don't think the pathways here have anything to do with this weird architecture here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll show this to people on the forum and ask for their opinions. But maybe spreading this out more, maybe changing the rotation of items, maybe there's something manual that I can do to interlink these things a little bit better. But this is what the Pathfinding Playground is built for, and I'm happy I'm aware of it now, because I was not aware of it in the beginning, which is why I'm making this video. So let me go ahead and go back to 55, and we're going to choose everyone's favorite map, Luna. Okay, so Luna. Let's try this. We're going to do used nodes and sectors. Click, click. That works. It's a little wide, but okay. Click, click. There's an opening there. It finds the opening. That's perfect. Let's go from the center of the waterway all the way to the center of the other waterway. And we see that. There we go. Forgot to turn on initial paths. So you can see that the path it takes, and you can see what the computer's trying to figure out. So the computer knows not to send the boat all the way over here, because this is stupid. Just send the boat to here. And the rest of it seems to be working just fine. Again, it gets all the way down here, and it realizes, hey, I can interlink these. But for some reason, when I go from here to here, and anyone that's played this map is going, yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen now. No, that one works. Let me change this. There we go. That's what I saw before, depending on exactly where it's at. Yeah, you get stuff like this. And essentially it's... So the boat is going all the way down, all the way around, but for some reason, these nodes, these lines aren't interconnecting and creating the shortcut, which I don't understand why that's happening. Instead, it's going all the way down and around and looping back again. So I think what's happening is the logic is by the way, you can see the pathfinding here. Essentially what it's doing, it's combing. So when we get up to here, it's on a right pass, and then it encounters land, and it looks like it hugs the land, and it continues to hug the land. And that's probably what's happening. Because it's hugging the land, there's probably... Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, because it's hugging the land here, it doesn't seem to be open up to the possibility of interconnecting these two nodes. And that, I'm guessing, is what's causing the error. Pathfinding is getting hyper fixated on the border of the far side of the moon, not dark side. It's not called the dark side, it's the far side. Let's see here, it's taking all of its shortcuts, blah blah blah, and it goes that way, because by the time it exits, but the same thing, why isn't it, okay, even if it went all the way over here, why isn't this part over here connecting? Because I've seen that before with the pathfinding, it will do that. Other things you can kind of expect out of it. I mean, this is a challenging map. I understand it's a challenging map. I'm sorry. Look at that. See? Look how smooth that pathfinding is. Yep, that works. That works. That works. That works. Perfect. Perfect. This is an art piece here. Which should be a J. You're so close. And again, you can see that the pathfinding... See, that's weird. See, it's coming out here, and it's intersecting itself almost. It realized it's almost about to intersect itself. So why not just join the paths? I don't understand why these paths aren't linking. It's not, because here it's tracking the edge, and you can see it's tracking the edge. I don't know how any of this works. I really don't know how any of this works, but I do see I have a problem here. And based on where these nodes are located, if I were to cut notches here, I don't think that would resolve the issue. So it's not an issue with the bridge, it's an issue with just the way the pathfinding works, and I've heard the scale of the map. So there's something in the code that's probably telling the pathfinding every so many steps do this. So when traditionally testing this with maps that are smaller and simpler, where there's a single coastline, it just works. But my map has one large island up top, one large island on the bottom, but that's not if you don't cut it up and realize it's multiple small islands, and then these strips in the middle as well. But even if you take them all out, it's a large map. It's all my fault, guys. I'm sorry. If you ever send a boat out and it doesn't work right, I do apologize. Paint some territory first. Oh, wow. I actually haven't used this one. Blue. Alright. We need a larger brush. There we go. Da-da. Wow, man, it's like arts and crafts time. Yep, here's another example with the transport ships. It could just go around the other half. It could go out here. But this is a different kind of problem than the first one. The first one, the problem was the paths were near intersection and they weren't automatically joining. The pathfinding didn't see that there was a shortcut and it wasn't connecting those points. But this one is because of the shape of the map and other basic factors of the pathfinding. So the pathfinding has to make a choice, and there's nothing wrong with making a choice. It has to go right or it has to go left. And considering that the goal is on the left, almost just underneath, I mean, that seems like the correct. Like, why would you go up? You would go down, correct? And when you get here, why would you go this way? You would go down towards your goal, and you would continue down towards your goal. Maybe. Okay, so that works. Works. It works. Doesn't work. Works. Doesn't work. Works. It doesn't work. Well, why not? Why is this the more efficient path? This is the more efficient path, and then now this is the more efficient path. This is a very comical path. Wow. Luckily, no ships are going to this exact point in the middle of the ocean. And then we get to here. And is that the more efficient? No, it's not. Why would that be the more efficient path? It's saying go the long way around when you can take the shorter way around. It does have the notch, and it knows the notch is there, but there's this in-between area. I have experience playing around with fractals, so I'm used to seeing like topology of multiple things, and basically seeing that there's like there's a shape here that I can't see where the map doesn't work, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Where are you getting this from? Okay, that works. And then that doesn't. Okay, Alright, so let's I haven't done this before, so I'm going to try to figure out what's going on without knowing how this crap works. Boat comes out of here. Boat goes left, goes down, goes here. Fine, whatever. Boat goes this way, and then it goes all the way past. Okay, so the problem is that these aren't close enough. Is that what's happening? That they're not interlinking? So, I mean, I saw before that they weren't realizing there was a shortcut before, but these are clearly far away, and maybe the pathfinding doesn't realize that there's a shortcut here, which isn't good. Yeah, so if I build a port here and someone else builds a port here, that's the path of the ship. Gotcha. All right. Why is it doing that? It goes straight down. Then it finds object, and then it hugs the object, and it finds object, and it hugs the object, it finds the object, and it hugs the object. Until it gets to its destination. So, just based on my analysis, the pathfinding likes to reference the land masses, and most traditional maps have one continuous landmass of some kind, or the rivers terminate, and this does not. So that's part of what's causing the problem, I think. And then you have this here, which is, for some reason, the pathfinding. I think the pathfinding is saying that it has to go a far distance, so it goes into I need to go a long distance mode, and then in that mode it's ignoring shortcuts that could potentially be there, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that. Let me clear that territory. I'm gonna paint some more territory up here. I wish I could turn off the paint feature. They should add that. Fine, not fine. This is fine. This is fine. That's not fine. I'm gonna try something and I'll be back. Okay, and I am back. And I have updated the Luna map and put an extra notch here. But I left a little satellite here just to see what would happen with the pathfinding. So we'll start with a northern node, and we're gonna go down south. Okay, perfect. That's not the best thing in the world, but fine. Oh wait, you know what I forgot to do? Initial nodes and sectors. There we go. So at what point doesn't it realize that the other way is faster? Whoa, what just happened? That opening in the middle didn't make it any better. Okay, alright. So for anyone that's annoyed with by a bridge with these lines in the middle, and they want me to put like cut a hole in it or something. Like, that's not going to solve any problems, because there's other there's other things about the pathfinding that seem to take over. No, I think that just makes it worse. Oh, that just makes it worse. I think if I were to maybe if I were to take a giant chunk out, would that help? Fine. This is what your imagination says should happen optimally. Yeah, it just happens to work. And then there's this. But this way. Works. Yeah, that one was really nice. I like that one a lot. That's an art piece. Down and around. Crosses over itself. It crosses over itself. Yeah, I think my other version of the map didn't have this problem. Where it would cross over its own path and not realize it. Okay, well that doesn't work. I'm gonna pause again and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back again. One last time. I'm not actually gonna do this for the map, but it's a demonstration. So, node in the north, and as you can see, I have eliminated all but 2 of the orbits and made a huge hole in the center, just to see what it does, right? Let me do initial path, nodes, and sectors as well. And we can see that, I don't know what the hell's going on with this one. Like this. This has nothing to do with the orbits at all. This is just an island issue. And maybe the fact that it's intersecting with the edge of the map. And then there's this, which is, it goes over here, it goes over here, and it goes back again. And of course, like, it's doing its zigzag between the objects, right? I get that, but why isn't it connecting these 2 lines here and finding the shortcut? Even if it ends up going all that way anyway. Let's go. Well, does that hole in the center do anything? Okay, so it does something on this side, which means nothing, basically. So it does nothing there. And then it does absolutely nothing there. It does worse. I think that's worse. That's so much pathfinding. Okay, so it actually takes the shortcut. See, this is it working correctly, actually. So the pathfinding says go all the way down here and go all the way around. And as you can see, you have these perfectly symmetrical nodes here in these lines. And it understands that, you know what? This is the shortcut in between these areas. But I don't know why that shortcutness isn't being triggered on other elements. Maybe it's a factor of scale. I don't know. But anyway, I think this is a good demonstration of the Pathfinding Playground. If you have a weird design that you want to test out on here, go right ahead. I think I've given you a little bit more. I mean, I made you aware of it, hopefully. I've been making maps and I wasn't aware that this was a thing for a little while. I keep hearing about this playground and I just thought the people were just playing around or something. But no, it's Pathfinding Playground. Yes, actually useful. Anyway, thank you very much, and you guys have a good day.